So today in part 2 we are going to get into the business end of the old boat and see what we're working with. I can honestly tell you that I have not taken the hood off of this thing yet, and it has been keeping me awake at night, literally wondering what we have to work with. So in the last week, since we cleaned it out and we made the last video, I've done a little research on these, so I kind of was prepared for what to expect. And these have a fairly good reputation, and I was worried because it's not what you hear about. It's not a Merck, it's not a Johnson, it's not an Evinrude. You know, you don't see Chrysler outboards on new boats anymore, and I guess that's because they were bailed out in the 80s, and the government told them, you can keep manufacturing, but you've got to quit the recreational business, you know, pretty much focus on cars. But I guess they made a pretty damn good motor outboard up until that point. So it'll be cool to see what we got. There's also a really good Facebook group on these called Chrysler Outboards, the best damn motor ever. Best motor ever. Maybe there's no damn. Maybe I'm just excited. I don't know. So this is the 105. If you have a Chrysler outboard, I would suggest checking that group out. In the last couple days, I've already learned a lot. Is this the side? I don't know if you can see that. It says, yeah, you can. It says charger on it. I don't know what that means. I looked up some things, couldn't find anything specifically. Wait. Before we do this, no, let's do it. This cowl's in okay shape. The fiberglass is coming loose on the back. It could probably be brought back around. Oh. Okay. There's a motor. You want a closer look? We're gonna bring you in right off the bat. Where are the spark plug wires? Wait, oh, wait. What are they doing down here? I don't know how I feel about that. Why would a guy, those are loose, why would a guy store this with the spark plug wires disconnected? Anybody know? Those don't look new. What do you guys see down there? Nothing. Okay, we'll run through it real quick. Okay, first things first, spark plug wires disconnected. Not sure if that's a good or bad sign. Okay, looks like we're missing some hardware on, what is this, ignition box? Okay, this damn cowl's in my way. Oh, God, just took the shin right on that. Okay. All right, so, ooh, you guys see that? That's not factory. All right, so seeing evidence of this motor being taken apart. Great. Okay. There's a new type of connection out there. It's called the ring terminal roundup. Trademark, copyright, whatever. Okay, so that's fun. What else? Oh, I was wondering about this. Okay, so we've got the 2 bolts on the distributor. That is the optical distributor. I think the old timers call it the whispering eye. No, the electronic eye. That's fun. So, okay, that's there. On this side, it looks complete. This is the, what do they call this? Tower. All the linkages look complete. What about the carburetors? The fuel make it happeners. Okay, spider webs, that's good. It's missing the little plastic covers. I guess that's fairly common. Fuel pump is not factory. Man, I'm not getting that good old-fashioned feeling here. We've got aftermarket gasket. A aftermarket starter. Voltage regulator. I thought that was loose. That's tight. And terminal block. What was that gray wire that was just all... Where does it say gray? It doesn't say gray. That'll be fun to trace. And then we've got a starter solenoid down here. All right, so guys, here's what we're gonna do. No, we're not gonna do. All right, stop. All right, so in the last video, we speculated on the age. I was looking at the inspection tag and I thought it was early 2000s. I thought it was like a 0 and another number because I could just see kind of the top. I realized after looking closer, that was a 9 and then another number. I'm thinking it was a 98. I'll show you guys here and again in a minute. I think this was last inspected in 98. And I just got the titles for it in the mail yesterday, and the title work was done in late 97. So it seems like the last owner, who's since deceased, he bought this in 97. It was either already tagged or he tagged it, and it never left the water since. Or it never left the yard since, never got on the water. So what does that put us at? 24 years? Or 23 years at least since this thing is ran. I went to Google Earth this morning to kind of verify, and I could only tell they lived out in the country, so the Google Earth photos back in the late 90s weren't good. But in 2000, at least back to 2010, this boat never moved. So I think I don't think. I just make bad decisions. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull these spark plugs out. We're gonna give these cylinders some love. Got some seafoam lubricant. So we're gonna spray this in here and we're gonna let it sit for a bit. And then we're gonna let it sit. And then after in a couple hours, we're gonna put it into forward and we're gonna spin the prop or the flywheel, and we're gonna see if we're stuck. I still don't know at this point if the motor is seized or not, so that's the first step. Oh, a straw would be nice. Yeah, a straw. No. Great. So while we're waiting on the juices to kind of soak in those old pistons, we're gonna hook up my old tractor battery. Hopefully it's got enough juice left in it. And we're gonna see if anything catches on fire. Dang it, where are my nuts? Okay, and I'd also like to test the tilt and trim. Those probably don't work, but it'd be fun to find out. All these, I guess, this is red, so if you're red, you're dead, and that's how it goes. God dang, so many wires. What are all these for? Sparky, Sparky. Oh, you don't fit? Come on. Will you thread on there? Just sit. Okay, I'm gonna have to ream that terminal out and find a couple nuts and get that cinched down. But in the meantime, if there's gonna be a fire, we'll probably know now. And like I said, I'm not gonna try to start, well, the spark plug wires are disconnected, but I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna test some stuff, and I'm gonna check for power at the terminal with my old multimeter, and just not crank it. Just kind of, does this thing have an accessory mode? No one knows. All right, let's try that. Okay. Turn the key, I heard a click. Hey. Looks like that choke actuator works. Oh. Oh. Okay. Huh? That's good. Better take it easy. I'm gonna drain my battery. I think. What does this button do? Okay. This? Oh, I bet that's my tilt and trim. Got a horn. I didn't even know I had a horn. Boy, it's my lucky day. I'm gonna hook up these birds think they can just do whatever they want out here. They're beautiful though. Okay, I'm gonna hook up these other ground wires. I'm gonna hook up the battery right, and then we're gonna test the rest of this stuff. You guys aren't gonna believe this, but I was gonna pull a fast one on you, and I was gonna go get a set of vice grips, and I was just gonna lock them onto this terminal post. And I'm looking for my vice grips, can't find them anywhere because I've got toolboxes across 6 counties. And what do I find? 2 nuts that fit. This is weird. So I need to make that hole a little bigger. So if we got nuts, they need to fit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that'll work now. Nope, probably shouldn't do that with the battery on. Need to do it to this one too. I really don't have any interest in hooking up like the cassette deck that this thing's got, but I suppose I could trace out the tilt pump motor thing, but nope, I didn't like that. Hope that's not the one I need. I just destroyed it. Yikes. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna beat this one on then, and hope she likes it. Guess I'm gonna put this other hot lead on, because if we're gonna have a fire, now's definitely the time. Got a gas can sitting right there. No fire extinguisher. Got my multi-tool here. Put these on, because why would we use a ratchet or a end wrench? We don't want to get this on here too tight now, because if there's a fire, I gotta get this thing out of here before it melts my battery. Okay, that's swell. This thing is rough. I'm probably gonna need to replace all these janky wires if this motor is salvageable. What? There's not. Come on. Oh, in the hell. We're just gonna. It's like one of them parties where there's more people than. Okay. Oh yeah. Multi-tool. I just need a thread. No. This is called a dual punch. Do I even need this wire? Let me see if I even need this wire. See if I've got any tilt action without it. That might just be like the radio or lights or something. Let me turn you around. I'll back you up. Here's what we want. We need to flip that switch and this thing to go. Still got chokage? Oh, it's quick. Oh, wow. Okay, tilt. Nothing. Gosh darn it, is it that last one? Let me see if I can just rest this on here with my multi-tool. Please don't short. My multi-tool's handy. Dang it. Is that how I do the tilt? What does this do? Okay. That's okay. I don't need tilt yet. Don't need tilt yet. Next step, now that we have no fire, is let's check the carb bowls. Sure be nice if that tilt worked so I could lower this bastard down. Alright, so these bolts on the bottom of these bowls are pretty well rounded, so that's good. Not only have these been taken off a lot, they've been taken off by a mechanic with the wrong size wrench. Yay. And let's see what surprises we got here. It's not terribly rounded, but you can tell it's been taken off and on a few times. Don't know if that's in focus. Somebody tell me. Is there a button? Yeah. Is that the code? Nope. What do you gotta do? Oh, there it goes. Oh, good. It's just all that's in there is oil, so that's probably normal to have, yep, oil in your carburetor bowl. I hope you can see that. Can you see it? It's gonna spill. No, it won't. It's too viscous. Okay, so we'll clean that up. It's got some gunk around the rim. How's this float look? Hey, don't even need that. It floats. It looks fine. Okay. Didn't bring a rag. All right. Wish I had some carb cleaner. Jeez, that stuff is thick. It's like honey in there. I know these cotton red shop rags aren't the best for this kind of thing, but I guess I'm out of my good blue ones. And that's crusty. I'll just make sure there's no fibers left in there. This bowl's a little dented on the side. Apparently that's been a booger to get off before. Is that a gasket? Yep, that's a gasket, and that is in rough shape. I want to formally acknowledge the fact that I have kind of stolen or borrowed the vocabulary from the Vice Grip Garage, and I can't help it. I don't remember birthdays, anniversaries, important, relevant information, and for some reason I can't get batteries, fuel make it happeners, lightning hoses, any of that out of my head. That's how I see this stuff now. So I promise I'm not trying to imitate Derek. I just don't know what else to say anymore. Not to mention, I don't know what half these parts are anyway. He's been my shop teacher. That's what you get. All right, well, that gasket's pretty well toasted, but I don't have another one, so I'm not gonna pull that out of there because it's probably gonna break. I'm just gonna got the gunk out. We're gonna replace on this. Let's see if we can find the hole it was in. Yep, let's hear that. It had a seat for sure. Probably the best seal you'll ever get right there. All right, we're gonna do the other one, and if it's something different, I'll show you. Otherwise, I'll do that times 2. All right, so the bottom carb had some oil in it, but not nearly as much. Just some gunk. So this is what I believe to be like a secondary fuel screen, or primary, depending on how you're doing it. Let's come all the way out. You got a retainer? Anybody know? This comes all the way out. These fuel hoses are not good. Okay, that looks fine. It smells like fish. Some sea foam in the fuel pump? What do you think? Can't hurt. Got to be better than what it had in it. I'm just going to button that back up. Is that how? Yeah. Okay. So, I was hoping that the existing fuel setup, now you can't see this, I was hoping I could use the existing fuel line, and that is not gonna happen. Because look here. The fuel line, come on, the throttle cable, God dog it, gross, there's bugs everywhere. Ah, fine. No, you're coming. Got it. Where's my multi-tool? Get out of there. It's not part of the show. Leverage? Yep. Okay, so, not these. Not talking about them yet. The fuel hose is roasted. That's not gonna be doing us any good. I showed you those in the last video. The shifter cable and the throttle cable are just destroyed. And so any operability, if this thing starts without fuel, we'll have to do all of our adjusting here. I'll have to figure out what's throttle and what's shifting. But anyway, So that's good. Carbs are okay, I guess. Battery's hooked up. I think we'll go ahead and try to put it in a gear and see if we can spin the prop slowly, work it back and forth, and get that flywheel to turn. That way we know we're not seized up. So we've got two cables here. I guess I just need to see which one is attached to the carb linkage, and that is this one. So this must be shifter. Nope. This one? This shifter? How do you shift it? So that's, top one's throttle, and the, oh wow, those do work, kind of. Well, they're completely destroyed. I'm not getting that shifting linkage. Oh no, it's opening. Okay, so we should be in forward now. Let's give it a little bump. Ooh. I don't think it likes it. Should I take the spark plugs out? Am I fighting compression? Is that a bonehead move? I was just trying to keep the debris out. I don't know if that makes any difference. Wait, I'm only supposed to turn it clockwise. I think I'm goofing up turning it both directions. Was that electricity? Sounded like electricity. Okay. Well, it's not seized. And I don't know if any amount of, I suppose I could let this sit and sea foam for 3 weeks and it may help. Or we could turn the key. Is that bad? Nope. Let's turn the key. We're gonna put these in handsy tight, like the original guy did, the last guy did. Probably not right. Okay. Then we'll take these. They are labeled. That is good. I guess. I've got a 2, a 4. Ah, nards. I've got a 2 and a 4 labeled. My 3 fell off. Shoot. We're gonna have to do some deductive reasoning here. Starting with, I'm assuming 4's on bottom. Then 2 from the top. And then based on the length and placement of the remaining, which one would be 1? This one? Oh, these are different. Why are these different? Twist on off. I feel like this one's 3. And this one's 1. Okay, that's easy. What do you think? Turn the key? Put it back in. Wait, that's reverse. Neutral. Oh, the key's been in the on position. Oh. No, I don't have have water hooked up, I don't think it's gonna run. It's not spinning very much. Okay. Cool. Let's give it. I suppose what I should do is make sure I'm on the right cylinders. I just wanted to make sure this thing would turn. Now I know my starter solenoid's good. I know my starter is good. What I don't know is do my electronics work. So I'm gonna tinker with that a bit and I'll be right back. So I want to do a compression test real quick while we're to this point. I'm sure there's probably something I'm supposed to do to safeguard those electronics. I don't have the manual, so I'm just gonna cross my fingers and try not to damage anything. I know that you're supposed to do these tests at wide open throttle, but I read that there's a switch in there that won't let you start the motor unless it's in neutral or unless that switch is engaged. So I think we're just gonna try to do this pressure test in neutral. Okay, 30 pounds of pressure. That's not good. Not good. Try for cylinder 2. Wondering why all this goop was on here, on the motor, and why it was left. Loss of compression is probably a good one, or a good reason to quit fiddling with it. Cylinder 2, 75 pounds. Good old cylinder 1, making everybody else miserable. 75 isn't good either. I think I'm looking for, what did it say, 150 maybe? Well, yeah, you ain't gonna see that one, folks. Is it just me, or does it sound like it wants to start more than it did earlier? Whoa! 160? On number 3? Let's go. So the motor's gradually trying to start better and my pressures are increasing. Coincidence? Not sure. If this one's above 160, we're gonna go back and do number 1 and 2 again, because this thing sounds like she's about to go down river. What do y'all think? Toes crossed? What in the blazes? No compression. All right, I just wanted to jump in here real quick and kind of recap how the end of this video came together. I was a real negative Debbie there towards the end, kind of bummed out about the 2 failed compression tests. So here's where we're at. Ran the compression tests on all the cylinders twice. Similar results both times. The number 3 cylinder is the only one with good compression, and the number 4 cylinder had 0 compression. So in the video, I'm talking about I'm parting this damn thing out, son of a, you know what, getting a new motor on this thing. But I gave it some thought. I'm going to go ahead and let the cylinder soak in some automatic transmission fluid for a few days. Gonna try the compression test again. I might even put some fuel to it and just see if the thing will fire. If it will fire and run on 3 cylinders, which it may not, I don't know. But if it does, and I know that all the electronics are working, everything's working other than I have bad compression, then I'll probably pull the head off, check the gaskets and all that fun stuff. Because at this point, that stuff doesn't really cost me any money. I've already got the title. And looking at this motor compared to some other ones I've been looking at since I failed the compression test, it looks pretty good. And when I say good, it looks well taken care of. It doesn't look like there's a ton of hours on it. I mean, we know it's just sat for the last 20 years. So Don't know why it doesn't have compression, but we're going to try a little bit harder to get this thing going. Who knows, maybe a full rebuild if we can find the parts and I can find the information on how to do it. We'll see. But anyway, I've got to take this motor off the boat regardless, so I can do some of the cosmetic stuff, kind of get the fiberglass sanded down and get ready for the new surfacing and stuff. So we're going to pull the motor off. We're going to keep working on it. And if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Thanks.